Hello, welcome to my channel Birdie Goes Crafting. I haven't had time to make the video I really sort of wanted to make, so I thought I'd get something out of my unfinished projects, of which I have a big basket and I keep finding more, but never mind. Now this piece is part of a sampler that I'm doing, and I'm doing an Elizabethan sampler, which you can you get the drift of here. And I'm making lots of small pieces, and I'm adding bits to it as I've played with them and learned about techniques, which is something I like doing. I intend on using these then in other pieces later on. This particular one is inspired by a portrait of Queen Elizabeth I, painted very many years ago, and I've sort of loosely drawn it as best as I could, and then turned it into a transfer using heat transfer ink. And then as I'm building it up, because there's no great plan with it, I'm just playing with techniques, I'll part detail it and part not. I want to remind myself of the process that I'm doing, so like the eyes will never get done, I don't think, at this point, because I want to show that I've made a transfer out of this pattern. Also the hair will show how it perhaps looks finished, although I don't know, I think I'll give the next one a different hairstyle. And the black line to me represents the fact that it's drawn. The other thing is the lace. Some of this part will get done, part not. At the moment all I'm doing, if you can get some focus, you can see the small red lines here. I'm literally covering them with thread. I'm just doing a simple back stitch up and down them, because those are going to be the corners for me to build up the lace pattern, because quite often the lace then was made up of rows of squares and quite geometric, some of it. So we'll get on with this. I just intend to do this bit and then I'll have to leave rest till tomorrow, and hopefully it won't stay an unfinished project forever, because I've got lots of other plans for this bigger sampler that I'm doing. Lots and lots of techniques I want to practice and play with. I want to do some slashing on it, some pinking. I want to put some leather on it. I want to do more black work. I want to do some different stitches on it as well. Yep. I wasn't concentrating there. Let's go back a stitch. It's only a simple back stitch I'm doing, but stitching and talking and filming is obviously something I'm going to have to practice. There you are. Oh. So there you are. Looks like I've got a threaded needle again. So all I'm doing is a back stitch along this row, and I'm putting equal numbers of stitches because those are going to be latch points for lace. It's going to be a little bit Retticelli is the lace, on it, so I'll want to make it quite geometric really. It'll only be a version of it, but that's another piece that I want to put on the big sampler. I actually want to do a full piece of Retticelli lace. I have played with it and I made a small piece for a button which I then put over lace, but it was so modern really somebody wouldn't even know that that was the technique that I'd used. This is one of the things I do. I take all these techniques and I use them, and to a degree I just disguise them in other pieces of work. Make modern things with old designs, which I personally get great fun out of. But one of the things I like to do as well is, where possible, I do like to use recycled products. Some things you can't, like certain threads, but fabrics and things like that, because they make the work a little bit more unusual. It's something that you perhaps can't put together so easy unless you're fortunate enough to thrift something identical. It's one of the challenges with this, because it's really quite a good scrap buster when you look at lots and lots of small pieces, but once they've been done again, you know, revamped into something, you're making something really beautiful out of something that would have been not dumped perhaps, but that wouldn't be repurposed, should we say. It wouldn't last quite so long, and it does make a difference, because there's more pleasure in making, oh way up, it's gone again, making something that's hard to replicate. It makes every piece different. I don't get frustrated with myself then, because I know it's unlikely that it's ever going to be made exactly the same. The only time that's important for me really is if I'm making a set of buttons, because obviously everybody, well, yeah, most people want matching buttons to match. But saying that, I don't mind taking the old techniques and being very woolly on the perfection with them, and turn them into little character pieces as well on free-form embroidery. Obviously I just love sewing, and I like making different things. I don't like making the same things over and over again, because to me this is just a blooming big adventure of playing, experimenting. When it comes to the lace, when this is finished, you can see now how these stitches are just covering the red lines. When it comes to finishing this, I'm thinking that I won't fully detail all of it, but that little bit round the head I want to look really quite realistic lace wise, and then I'll graduate it down to this is how we started, and this will show perhaps somebody else how I did this, if they're interested. Not everybody is. I know it's a little bit niche what I do. Right, there we are. You can also see that the back is not so tidy. That's another thing I'm not precious on, because it'll be covered. Now on the back of buttons when I make them, I do cover them if it's a gift for somebody, because I want them to look really nice. But in reality, when some of these original buttons were handmade, they didn't look as good on the back because they were sewn on. You didn't see it. It really just depends what you want them for. Right, so that's that for today. I don't know, I'll see what people think at video, and then I might do some more, sort of show the elements that I keep adding, because it is a piece that's going to grow and grow and grow really. Every time I get a new technique I want to play with, that's where it'll go, as long as it's got some historical influence. I do have other pieces like a South Asian influence little collection that I'm doing. I also have like a quite weird wacky selection that I'm doing, so bit by bit they'll be revealed. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and until next time.